Welcome, Aries. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dee, and this is Intuitive Life Advice. I'm going to do a reading for you today called Troubled Love, and this is for July 2021. And we're going to use 4 decks. These are my original decks. I only use my own personal decks, and I do not use any others. So these are all created by myself, and I trust only my own energy, my own knowing, and my own source. There are 4 decks here. I shuffle all these cards offline, but I know that everyone likes to have proof that the cards are shuffled. So what I'm going to do is just shuffle them one more time, and so that you all can see that they are being shuffled. I am trying to create a community here for healing, a community of healing for those who have been in bad relationships, narcissistic relationships, abusive relationships of any kind. It could be verbal abuse, mental, physical, sexual, financial, spiritual, any kind of relationship that is really bad for you. That's what I want people to be able to heal from here. And we're going to help one another. I want you to help one another and be there for one another. Share your experiences, share your thoughts, your views, your feelings. Just open your heart to one another and help the healing process. Help with the healing process for everyone that comes here to join us. And it's going to be a wonderful thing, because there's nothing better than being able to help someone and share your love for others in a way that can change their life forever. So please be sure and like and share and subscribe to my channel, and comment under the video here so that everyone can kind of join in and talk to one another. It's very healing. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck. We're going to find out where you were in your life, in this relationship, in the recent past that brought you to the place you are now, which is considered your current energy. And then if you continue on the same path you're on, the same way of thinking, doing the same thing that you're doing now, where is it going to lead you in this relationship? That's what these 3 cards are. And then we're going to pull a card to find out who we're dealing with here. And sometimes, we'll see. Okay, we're dealing with a Sagittarius and an enlightened person. We're going to find out what the severity level is of these 2 or these 3 cards here if we need to. So we're going to hold on to this deck here. And then our words of wisdom. These cards are going to come to us to help us heal. We've got narcissism, abuse, narcissistic victim abuse syndrome, mercy. Okay. We'll get our severity levels here in just a few minutes. Okay, Aries, you are a fire sign, as you know, I'm sure. And you're dealing with a Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign. Actually, the 2 complement one another greatly. If you're in a relationship with a Sagittarius, you're a great match. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. Now, the thing that can destroy a great match, a great partnership, is a personality disorder, which we see this over here in our words of wisdom cards. We're seeing narcissism and abuse and narcissistic victim abuse syndrome. That tells me you're dealing with a narcissist, and it's this Sagittarius person. and they have inflicted abuse upon you in some way, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of that. And you're suffering from narcissistic victim abuse syndrome, which is a real thing. That phrase was coined by a professional in the psychology field. And I'm really reluctant to use all of the terms that those professionals have coined, because they're just learning too. Everybody's learning, and I don't think you need to spend any of your time, don't waste any of your life trying to learn about narcissists. There just is no reason for you to do that. The easiest way to learn about narcissists and those narcissists that abuse their partners is this. If somebody makes you feel bad all the time on purpose, they're bad for you. Get away from them. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't spend the next 2 or 3 years trying to become a guru on narcissists. It's not needed. You're wasting your life. You're going to miss out on something wonderful if you do that. So let's get started here. I'm feeling like this enlightened person is you, because if this Sagittarius partner that you're with was enlightened, they definitely wouldn't be drawing these cards. These are bad. In fact, that's just 3 completely bad cards. So, and that surprises me, because Words of Wisdom is an uplifting deck. The only thing bad in that deck is just warnings. It's like things that you must be aware of. So where you were recently was acceptance. You started understanding and taking ownership of the fact that something is going on here that isn't right, and you, as you can see, this ballet dancer is on a knee. She's got one knee up. She's leaning on the other knee, knelt down there, but her head is just tilted up to the sky, like, okay, I surrender. I accept that something is wrong here, and I accept that I need to get to the bottom of it so that I make the right decision. I know this is bad for me. I know that I need to open my eyes to something here, so I will consider doing that. So that energy brought you to current, which is denial. And what that tells me is, if you're in denial after you came to the realization that you are accepting the fact that something is wrong in your relationship, the card of denial is you just backslid. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that. If you notice here, these 2 cards, one is they're facing one another, but the acceptance card, she's looking up, kind of surrendering, that her face is up. She's like, tell me what to do, give me wisdom, something, because I know something's wrong here. I accept the fact that I'm in a bad situation here. I don't know what to do. I don't understand it. And currently, the denial state of mind is where but I don't want to believe that. I don't want to leave this relationship. I don't want to leave this person. I just don't want to look at this right now. So you kind of push it under the rug for a little bit. And if you continue to do that, Aries, your outcome is that you're going to stand on your own 2 feet, which is a wonderful card, because this card here that's an enlightened person, that's you. This is your partner, the person you're in a relationship with, and this is you. You're the enlightened person. And it tells me that because you're standing in the near future. That is the 34th card in my 34 card deck of the system that someone goes through, the stages that a person goes through when they're in a bad relationship, from the beginning to the end. And you can go through certain stages and phases of those 34 cards 100 times. Some people never make it to the last card, which is the stand card, where you're standing on your own 2 feet, and there are a lot of steps in between there. And the fact that you're doing that, jumping straight to stand, that's where you walk. You're in charge of yourself. You're in charge of your own life. You're making your decisions. You're not letting someone hold you back, tie you down, confine you, abuse you, belittle you, betray you, murder your soul. You're not allowing it. You have gone through all the steps at this point in your near future that you have to go through to break free from this evil thing called narcissistic abuse. And I do want to pull a card here for the severity level, because these 3 cards here are telling me that you're dealing with narcissism, which is this Sagittarius person you're with. They are inflicting abuse, and that could be verbally, as I said, verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, sexually, soul abuse. I mean, it can be any of those types of abuse. I don't know, because this is not a personal reading. This is general. So I can't have those details in a reading like this, or it won't fit for who needs to hear it. Now, the card of narcissistic victim abuse syndrome, that is long-term abuse at the hand of a person with narcissistic personality disorder. In other words, you've got a real jerk who has been just pounding you with whatever they're pounding you with to keep you in a state that is causing you to start, you're feeling bad about yourself. You've lost your confidence. You've lost your way. You can't make decisions. You're confused all the time. Everything's blurry. It's foggy. You can't concentrate. Can't finish anything. You've probably got a pile everywhere, a pile over here and a pile over there, and you just can't focus. These people throw you way off, and there's no other way to say this other than you are an enlightened person now, which means you have been given some information, some wisdom, which wisdom is the card right before this one in this deck. And so you gain the wisdom to stand. And in what I'm seeing here, beautiful Aries, is you have gained the wisdom. That's what this is telling us. You're enlightened now. You've gained the wisdom to stand. And that's just beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Let me quickly draw a card on this severity level for you on the emotionally abusive part of this relationship, so that we can determine. Okay, you pulled a medium 6.9 in the severity level. And that's rough, Aries. That's high. This scale of severity in bad relationships, the severity of a bad relationship goes from less than 1 to an 11. So it's 1 to 10, and then 11 is like off the chart, which means, I mean, it's horribly bad. It's critically severe. So 1 to 10, and then 11 is off the chart. And you're at a 6.9, which is right before the 7. That's further than halfway down the severity scale. So you need some counseling. You need some coaching, some counseling, some love, some self-love techniques, and I was trying to say tactics. Techniques for self-love. You need to have someone just kind of instill back into you who you are. And if you're enlightened and you have stood, that means you have conquered this, which is amazing, Aries. If anyone can conquer it like that, it would be an Aries. It's you. You can do it. You can take the worst case scenario of a relationship and you can process it and filter out all the things that harm you emotionally or just spiritually, any of those things. You could just filter them out, and you're left holding the beautiful parts of you. And I know this hurts, but I also can see that right now you're in denial, but once you open your eyes and get back to that accepting the fact that, get back to this frame of mind where you're accepting the fact that you know something's wrong, and right now you don't want to see it, you don't want to end this, everything's good except for this way this person treats you sometimes. That's when you get the enlightenment and you stand, Aries. This is amazing reading. It's amazing. Aries, you are the enlightened person. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please join me on this journey. I'm so excited for you, Aries. This is a beautiful reading. You have a wonderful July.